I changed my name from Busamakong to Sam Busamakong. Thomas Nicola was born in midnight. And when he was born, there was a thunderstorm. And when he was born, the nurse said, this child will represent darkness. Their mother said, this child will represent light. Nicola came with the light on. Thomas Edison, after dealing with the light, after dealing with everything, 10,000 times, he still failed. And the person who was assisting him said to him that, I think we should just give up because what we're doing is not working. We have failed 10,000 times. He said we have not failed 10,000 times, we just found 10,000 ways which the light will not work. Are you with me? They say water passes through a rock, not because of its power, but because of its persistence. When I was in grade 8, my LO teacher said to me, Mbuso, the way you speak, you will be a leader one day. And I said, ma'am, I will fight to be a head boy. When I was in grade 11, my deputy principal said to me, Mbuso, the way you are, you will never be a prefect. I said, I will never be a prefect, but I will be a head boy. Last year, I was a head boy, and after I was nominated as a head boy, he came to me and he asked me, what is it that you do that people see? I told him, what is it that you say that people listen? What is important today is how you view yourself. What is important today is how you speak about yourself. I'm an engineering student, but everybody says I should change. Why is that so? Do we have any engineers here? Understanding. You are not born Chinese, then you become African. You are born African. When you're born to be a doctor, you portray characters of the doctor. When you're born a politician, you portray characters of a politician. The reason why we say the sky is the limit, because we lack the proper suits and the proper gear. If you have an oxygen tank, then the sky is not the limit. What limits you? If you build a block around you and you say, this is where I'm going to stay, that's where you're going to stay, because you built that block. What I can tell you today is that what you believe in should move you. What you draw out of the drawing board should move you. When you wake up in the morning, what do you see? I asked my Nigerian friend, I said, what took your father to bring you to South Africa? He said, the first time my father brought my brother to South Africa, he had to sell his own house so he can bring my brother to South Africa. I said to him, what are your goals? He said, I want to take my son to China to learn. I said, what do you think? How are you going to achieve that? I told him that every time when you enter the exam room, look at yourself taking your son to China. Whenever you're about to write something, remember, it is not somebody else. It is who you are that determines the future. When you come up with good results, it doesn't matter who was there and who was speaking to you. But now those results reflect you. Are you with me? I'm a motivational speaker, I'm a coach, and I'm a mentor. When I told my mother I'm going to do that, she said, Uso, I think you're wasting time. The first time she spoke to me, and I gave her 10,000 rand, she asked, where did you get this money? I told her, Mom, whatever that you see is impossible. The word says it, I'm possible. Whatever that you see, whatever that you draw, you can use that. Remember, we're living in South Africa. A lot of people are complaining about South Africa. A lot of things are fluctuating. But at the end of the day, what is it that we're going to draw out of South Africa? What is it that you're going to say, this is because of Africa? Remember, a lot of people are not proud because they don't like the situation. But you should be proud because you're going to change the situation. Understanding that one day you'll be the only person who gets to note what you pass through. The journey is not easy. The journey is not hard. But how is the journey? You know, guys, I would ask you to do a simple thing. Are you with me? Those of you who believe they're leaders, may you please stand. Do you understand why you stood up and made a noise? The reason why you stood up and made a noise is because you wanted somebody to look at you and see you. When a tall person enters a building, it does not do because they're going to see you. But the moment you stand up and you cause a noise, you want people to look at you. The reason why you took time to stand up is because you don't believe in yourself. Remember, there is a builder and a leader. There is no in between. When you're a leader, you always take the first position. When I was in high school, my uncle said to me, Muso, you can be naughty as you want, but make sure you're the highest. You can be naughty as you want, but make sure you're the highest. I said, why? He said, when you're the highest, whenever you're not in class, nobody will notice, because there's nobody who's naughty. Remember, people remember you because of what you do. Today, when I enter my own community, people looked at me and said, look at that small boy. They stand up and honor my passing. I'll be walking, they'll be driving, they stop the car and greet me, say, how are you? Why? Because I proved to them that it's not about who you are, it's not about where you come from, but you can and you're going to do it. Remember, there are go-getters and go-makers. What are you? The difference between scientists and engineers, scientists deal with what has been done. Engineers come with something new. A new formula. A new formula. Structure, a new formula. Remember, for your final exams, you're not going to write them the whole day. You're going to write them for a small period of time. When you wake up at night to study, when you remove yourself from a lot of things to study, you know, Abraham, his father's name was Terah. In Hebrew means delay. Abraham was told to leave his father's land, and when Abraham left his father's land, a lot of things began to happen. So you need to leave your comfort zone. You need to leave your comfort zone. If you enter the class and say, you know, Miss Potter is like this, you'll never pass a subject, because the same way you do things, they happen to you. Remember the mathematic rule. What happens on the right happens on the left. If you say physics is difficult, physics is going to say you're difficult. If you say maths is difficult, maths is going to say you're difficult. Those of you are going to be engineers one day. Remember that they're busy trying to trap lightning. I can tell you now, it's very easy to trap the lightning. You just need to know how fast should you be. Already, scientists will tell you where the lightning is going to strike and what time, but you know, we're going to know how fast are you going to be. Those of you who want to be doctors, move away from creating medicine, but come with a vaccine. Remember, if you know the equilibrium, you don't need to know a lot more. If you knew how I got to 4, then you can go back. If you know what caused cancer, then you can go back. But remember, a lot of things are causing cancer because a lot of people are speaking about cancer. But there's a difference between speaking and knowing. Today, you mark your journey. Today, you mark your territory. Tomorrow, when people look at you today, how are they going to recognize you? How are they going to speak about you? Remember, reputation matters. Name matters. You can be the most famous person, but people do not know you. If you received a note today, signed Albert Einstein, you will take it serious because you know the name. You might not know the phrase, but you know the name. So when people ask you your name tomorrow, what is it that your name is going to carry? What profound information are you going to bring with your name? Remember, what determines who you are is your mind, your lifestyle, your career, and your pedagogy, which is education. Usually they say education is the key, right? That's a cliche. Education is the door. How you speak is the key. You might carry a powerful certificate without a job. I know of people who are actual scientists because they know somebody who knows the person who owns the company. They qualify, but they cannot be hired. How are you going to do things today? Do you want to end up with a matric certificate and a birth certificate to receive a death certificate? Or you're going to move from honors masters to PhD, remembering that there's a DD. Do not only level yourself above a Doctor of Philosophy. but put yourself as a doctor of divinity. You can change. You can do things. You can make things happen. There is a go-getter and a go-maker. A go-maker is a person who speaks without action. A go-getter is a person who makes things and prove that they can obtain those things. Be enthusiastic, be zealous, and know one thing. Know one thing only. You mark your own territory.